starting to record a little bit ahead of what was intended, but my co-host, my dear friend Andrew, has just informed me, despite my diet of potentially 2 to 3 hours of entertainment and movie podcasts sometime daily, I have a bit of a habit of not pronouncing certain actor names correctly. And he, in the most sort of humane and gentle way, brings this up. And I see Naveen on his video feed just losing his shit, dying laughing. I have not asked what these specific movie stars are. I don't know how specifically I'm mispronouncing them. I just said I'm going to hit the record button, and now here we are.
So I wish I had spent more time thinking about this prior to jumping on this pod, because maybe I could have gone back and put together a compendium, if that's the right word, of all of the mispronunciations. Maybe that'll be something we'll do later. Okay. But there have been, I would say,
what are the egregious ones? What are the what
Naveen, do you know?
I can only think of one that has popped up in multiple episodes. And I understand it's spelled this way, his last name, but I don't know if it's pronounced that way.
Okay.
So I always thought it was Bill Murray.
Oh yeah, that's it.
You always say Bill Mur-RAY.
Yes. That was actually the last one that I noticed.
Peter,
yes,
Scarlett Johansson, Anna Faris, Giovanni Ribisi, and Bill Murray.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
It's Murray.
Bill Murray. Bill Mur-RAY.
But it's spelled that way, like Murray, but I believe it's just pronounced Murray. Bill Murray.
That's the
Dan
only way I've ever heard it.
Harold Ramis, Bill Murray.
Yeah, see? No.
This is the one. This is the one that people are jumping on right now.
Yep. That's the one that kind of made me notice that you were doing it, but I know that there's been at least one other.
Okay.
That's all I got.
So like context for this, what I grew up on. This Bill Murray? Bill Murray.
Oh, the reason why we're laughing, he's saying it correctly, but his face is just like
it's so a weird taste. It's like a bad candle at tomato. Bill Murray. Bill Murray.
It feels so wrong to him. You can see it in the face. Like,
we did not sort of grow up in
you're miserable right now.
My brother and I grew up in a house where my father honestly was like a little bit obsessed with Bill Murray. Okay, now this is explicitly being called out, but I can already tell him I'm not changing like a fraction of like my pronunciation of that. Bill Murray.
No, you.
No. Okay, no. I'm going to write out the bit. Just almost exactly my father's age. My dad was obsessed with his movies, with his comedies growing up. Obsessed with his bits on SNL. Ghostbusters, one of like the first sort of movies that I actually remember watching, and like the fact, Bill Murray. It's just don't. I'm just visceral. Just this something in my gut. He's one of the world's biggest Chicago Cubs fans, like along with my father. So it's this is an actor who was just such a fixture, and that's how my dad pronounced it. That's how both my sort of parents pronounced it. It's interesting that you think Murray is kind of like the right direction to go in, and for all you guys know, maybe you may be right. I think I'm just too old to change it. Yeah.
And that's fine. You do you.
Okay.
But it was just
the
something.
Whole premise of this podcast, dude.
That's right. I want to see if I can find. I'm gonna see if I can find a YouTube video later on of Bill referencing his own name, and we'll see how he pronounces his own name.
I've been doing this 4.5 decades. I've been saying it this way as long basically as I could talk. It's probably not going to change anything for me, but it would be interesting to have the information.
Yes.
Right.
It's kind of like the podcast we listened to, Johnny, the financial one. I don't know how long you've been listening to a while, but there's one of the hosts who tries to say boiling, but he always ends up saying it always sounds like bowling.
Bowling. It's did shout out the what's the name of the pod again? I actually haven't listened to it a little bit.
The Money Guy Show?
The Money Guy Show. Thank you. The Money Guy Show. It's a couple of guys from the South. I'm not going to sweat any aspect of that at all. One way or the other. They got their thing, we got theirs.
Right, but it's just I'm just saying even the other Southern host makes fun of him for it because he's so
because it's the difference of that South and the deep South, or the Tennessee versus the border Tennessee, how are we supposed to say it?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Napoleon, we haven't introduced you yet, but anything to sort of kind of build on that? Have I been looking this up this whole time?
You probably have. I always just thought you were doing it on purpose.
A bit?
Yeah, kind of.
Bill Mur-RAY. All right. I can hear my parents. Saying that word.
All right. How about this?
Okay.
My wife and my daughter make fun of me for it.
Okay.
But how do you guys pronounce the Indian style rice?
Without thinking about it, basmati.
All right.
Do you have a little lift
Is that
at
the
the
rice
end?
you're referring to?
Yeah.
Yes, that is the rice I'm referring to.
Basmati.
Basmati.
Napoleon, being my brother, how would you say it?
Basmati.
So you got a little. There's a little bounce at the end, right?
Say it again, Napoleon.
Basmati.
Basmati, right?
With the TH.
I thought it was a TH.
There's no TH in there.
TI.
Right. TI.
Should be just TI, yeah.
Naveen, let's hear you say it.
So when I say, I just say basmati.
Basmati. Okay.
Basmati.
And then I, both my wife and my daughter's like, why all of a sudden do you have an Indian accent?
It does sound like you have an Indian accent.
I say that one word.
But I mean, if anybody, forgive me here if this is in any way, I don't know, racist or something, but
you're white. It's always racist.
You're right.
And here we go.
If anybody would know how to
our favorite
DEI
hire, folks, once again.
If anybody in your family would know how to pronounce that word correctly, wouldn't it be you?
In my
in your immediate family.
Right. It would be, yeah.
So
again, I don't notice it. I just feel like I'm saying it. It's kind of like when you now I'm probably being racist, but when you hear mostly Hispanic, because that's where I hear from, and they're talking to each other in Spanish, but then all of a sudden they're like, I have to say Walmart, and there's Walmart, and it gets very angular, when they have to put an English word in there.
Yeah. Or the other way around, when a native Spanish speaker is speaking in English, or maybe not even a native, but somebody who's fluent in Spanish, they're speaking in regular English, and then they go like Juan or Guatemala or something.
Right. So I guess I don't really notice it, but again, they noticed it and they started picking on me for it a little bit.
Right. Yeah, accents are an incredibly interesting thing. It's in my family, my mother grew up in kind of southeastern Massachusetts and had a very, very strong kind of just kind of like Bostonian adjacent accent that that she said she was always a little bit embarrassed by, a little bit ashamed by, because she said it not only to her perspective, this is at least how she's explained it. It is uneducated sounding, and for her, it's also just kind of made spelling, just kind of spelling words in the English language a little bit challenging, because the intrinsic way that she kind of pronounces a word doesn't necessarily map onto the letters it's actually kind of spelled by. So it's something that that she said when she kind of moved in, when she moved to Connecticut, in her late teens, early 20s, it's something that she made a very deliberate effort to kind of drop the Bostonian kind of style accent and sort of speak kind of like the more, kind of just New England, uninflected Connecticut dialogue instead. If mom starts drinking, if mom starts talking about Massachusetts stuff, or if mom starts hanging out with any of her friends from her hometown, that accent slips into place just right away. And for my dad, it's possibly the funniest thing that he's ever in his life.
Yes, it is.
Other than like the films of Bill Murray, Yeah.
Well, you guys all know my wife, right?
Mhm.
Yes, indeed.
She does the same thing. Like, and she's in New York with her New York friends. It like comes out like her New York accent comes out stronger than
Because
never
Teresa,
goes away.
it's
Yeah.
already it's already a little bit like intense. Like Teresa's baseline is already kind of Linda Belcher, like a little bit. It's
yes.
But it gets
that's
stronger
accurate.
and more intense.
Oh yeah.
The the New York Italian American. It's what's the funniest thing that she starts saying, or like what's like the most entertaining direction like that shift takes when she's back home.
It's more like when like she's talking about like her family. She's like my brother, my mother, my father.
Mm-hmm.
Those kinds of things.
just really puts like a little prosciutto on it.
Yeah. It's a lot
Is
of New York.
she-
I mean,
Is she from Long Island?
No.
No. Okay.
I
Interesting.
say my name wrong. too,
Usually
so if you
that's
listen to
where you say
my-
where she's from, but okay.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Where is she from?
Bronx.
Long Island? No.
from the Bronx.
Is she from Scotland? No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that narrows it down a little bit.
Yep. There's one less place that she could be from.
Let's kind of like again like the episode proper. I will definitely make sure to have my parents listen to a few minutes of this and kind of get some feedback on it. That is something I have never been told by anybody else. It's something you guys have just like never come out as a recurring thing we should start doing on the podcast. If I start saying other actors' names in a consistently wrong and hysterical way, don't keep that in your back pocket. Let's bring it out as co-hosts and friends. Let's deal with all that like on mic and in the moment.
Okay. Deal.
Sweet.
I guess now on a very related note to our episode.
Yeah. All that is to say, welcome to episode 61 of Rebels Without a Pod, the show that dares ask the question, was Bigfoot also on the Epstein plane? Now there's a pivot. Release the manifest, Pam Bondi. Join me tonight. What's up?
I said yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Joining me tonight, Andy, who does our artwork and graphic design. Naveen on music and audio production.
Hello.
Pod Daddy Eric will not be joining tonight. He is in Japan currently and just texted that he's recently entered a mostly platonic May-December relationship with a pink-haired, emotionally disaffected newlywed. You know, he says, the usual Japanese shit. So he's got that going for him.
He's a man of the world.
Man of the world. We all wish him well. However, in his place, returning to the show, and a guy you've already heard the voice of for the past 20 minutes, to win it, it's our buddy Napone.
Hello. I wish I could do a good Wahlberg accent, but I can't.
No, we just we got to get people from the native soil kind of back on for that. You could try pronouncing other Indian ingredients and see if that maybe.
Is it
Turmeric?
tikka or
Tikka? Tikka?
Tikka?
I think it's a quicker sound.
tikka?
So a chicken tikka.
Yeah.
I thought it was more tikka, chicken tikka masala.
Right.
See, I don't even know.
Get it together, guys.
Yeah.
We are.
Come on. You're on a podcast with two white guys. That's supposed to be like more unified front.
He was the English guy.
All right. You don't even know where you're.
I was the math guy.
All of our content is currently up on the Rebels Without a Pod YouTube channel. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We took a weekend off last week because it's hot as hell and everybody is also traveling. Weirdly for me, that was the first weekend I've taken off podcasting since going back to at least last Thanksgiving. A little bit disorienting, but over that weekend, we had the show collectively actually passed 5,000 views across the entire YouTube channel. It is cresting at 5,500 currently. We have a big drop of another older episode tomorrow, as well as some YouTube shorts that Naveen has been editing together. So we're hoping to potentially kind of crest 6,000 on the next few days. All very exciting, just for anybody who knows us and is kind of putting up with like this bullshit the entire time, or for anybody new, we certainly appreciate the time and attention.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, listeners, and one of them being here.
Yeah. Yep. One of my favorite things about Napoleon, we asked him ahead of time if there's anything he wanted to say about listening to the podcast. He was like, "Not really."
I'm good.
He seems like he's having a good time though.
I'll give you this.
Shoot.
Since you were kind of made fun of at the beginning a little bit. My wife did say, even though it wasn't a regular, it was your Cunny the Goose podcast.
Oh God, don't play that show for family members, please.
No, she heard it and she's like, "Who's that whistling? He whistles really well." I'm like, "That's Johnny. He did a great job whistling."
That was Eric.
What? Was it?
That was Eric.
Oh, I thought it was you.
Oh. I literally cannot whistle.
Really?
No.
At all?
Not in the slightest.
Can you chew gum?
How is that related?
Pretty sure those two things are not related.
All right.
Just like accents.
Sorry, I meant blow a bubble.
Movie.
That's what I meant to say.
I can blow a bubble, yeah.
Isn't it very similar?
You tell me. I don't know shit about whistling. That's why we had you on the pod, dude. Don't come here looking for answers.
Yeah, you should be given the answers.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they're very similar.
I disagree.
I haven't blown a bubble in a while.
Right. Follow-up question: where is your wife from again?
China.
No.
Well,
she's from Lithuania.
The Bronx. The Bronx. Like Jenny.
The Bronx.
Yeah.
Boogie down Bronx.
Who lives in the Bronx? My mother, my father, my sister, my little cousin, both the cousins, Terry and Bigger Terry. What happened to Big Terry? We don't talk about Big Terry. Tonight, we are continuing our B-movie cycle with a live watch and review of Jay Schlossberg-Cohen's 1987 family adventure film, Cry Wilderness. Specifically, its depiction on season 11 of Mystery Science Theater 3000 that released on Netflix a couple years back. This is something I wanted to kind of ask you guys a little bit. So this particular movie, I don't believe anyone else on the show tonight has actually seen it. This is in the style of these family nature adventure movies that were kind of popular in the 70s and the 80s. Some examples of these things sort of being Black Stallion, The Adventures of the Wilderness Family, Escape to Witch Mountain, the Dan Haggerty sort of Grizzly Adam films. But sort of most just the way I kind of really remember these films was there was about 1,000 made-for-TV movies from the 70s and the 80s that we always ended up kind of watching in elementary school when we had a substitute teacher or the actual teacher was hungover or whatever else. You confirm this? I feel like this kind of shit of a family kind of wandering through the woods and there's kind of a little eco parable thing, or they're kind of getting chased by a bear, or they're kind of getting back to nature, or there's a little sci-fi element or whatever. I felt like there was a goddamn million of these things back in the day.
I don't think I've ever seen one like this. When you suggested this movie, it was so out of left field for me. I was so kind of baffled by the suggestion that I was like, I have to see this because this is such a weird pull.
So this movie in particular is kind of interesting because it's out of all those movies I just mentioned, this film Cry Wilderness might be one of the worst and strangest of them. I was a little bit obsessed with this movie after I kind of watched it for the first time, and I went on Wikipedia, IMDb, just general Google, and there was nothing about this film. There was nothing about like the about how it was created, how it was funded. There was nothing about the like the script writer behind it, or like any of the actors or the director or producer. It was kind of like almost sort of like a monkey's paw kind of movie that was kind of just, to me, felt like it was kind of conjured out of midair just to be a Mystery Science Theater movie and kind of really nothing else besides that.
Is that the first time you saw it? Was through Mystery Science Theater?
It is the first time I think anybody saw it was through Mystery.
Got it.
Okay. All right, I was going to ask you the same question. Yeah, if you had seen it without the commentary,
right? I feel like, but like I said, I feel like we grew up on like a ton of movies that were a little similar to this, just not as completely demented as like this thing we're kind of about to like jump into tonight. Wikipedia describes the opening minutes of the film.
Wait.
Yep, go ahead.
You said you could not find anything on
this was a couple of years ago when the episode of Mystery Science Theater first came out. This was maybe one of the best regarded and most popular episodes of that season, and since then there is an actual full Wikipedia page. There was an actual full IMDb page. We'll get into it after like the watch of the movie itself, but there's now a minimal amount of public information. 90% of what's on the Wikipedia page is just like a summary of the film, like everything that happens. Yeah. But
interesting.
Let me out of that read like the first paragraph of the Wikipedia plot summary. Paul is a boy attending boarding school and is on a field trip with his class to the Natural History Museum. Noticing that Paul has separated from the rest of the class, the headmaster, Mr. Douglas, goes looking for Paul to find him staring at a statue of Bigfoot. Paul tells Mr. Douglas that he met Bigfoot last summer while vacationing with his dad, Will, a park ranger, at the natural park that he works at. Paul tells Mr. Douglas that Bigfoot likes Coca-Cola and that he gave him a radio that Bigfoot uses to listen to rock music. This is the first 3 minutes of the film.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Did this have any inspiration for Harry and the Hendersons?
I have to look at the time. Like it at most it was kind of contemporary to Harry and like the Hendersons, which is again why I kind of say there was a lot of this kind of shit like made back in the day. Like, so this is 87. Harry and the Hendersons feels
later,
88, 89.
Yeah, check it out.
Maybe at like
87.
80, also 87.
Do we consider Harry and the Hendersons to be similar to this movie in some fashion? Because I have seen that one.
Similar in that there's kind of like a creepy Bigfoot. Dissimilar in that nobody actually remembers, likes, or cares for like this movie we're about to watch.
Got it. Because Harry and the Hendersons is an objectively amazing film.
Fantastic.
Freaked the hell out of me. Fucking hated it front to back. Watched it once as a kid. Never touched it again.
What? Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Harry and the Hendersons, 1987. And you said Cry Wilderness also 1987?
Also 87.
Wow.
What are the release dates? Now we have to dive a little bit deeper.
According
June
to online,
5th.
it was June 5th. Yep. June 5th of 87 for Harry and the Hendersons.
Okay. And how about Cry Wilderness?
Looking that up now.
It says doesn't actually exist.
It just says
By a monkey's paw.
87 is what I'm seeing.
It just says 1987.
It is
I don't know.
plausible that somebody watched Harry and the Hendersons. Would you say June of 87?
Yeah, it was June of 87 for Harry and the Hendersons.
It's very plausible somebody watched it in June. It's like, oh yeah, fuck it, we can do one of these in like 2 months. Let's get this in theaters by like late August.
Yeah.
February of 1987 for Cry Wilderness. It doesn't have a day date, but February.
So it's before.
Yeah. Not much before, but before.
Yeah. The Cry Wilderness, the Mad Max to Harry and the Hendersons Road Warrior.
I think one very important thing for us all to know before we head into watching this is that none of the hawks or eagles seen with the characters are species native to the United States.
Right.
Just keep that in mind as we're watching. I don't mean to pull you out of the, the world, but
I also found a Reddit thread on this movie that complained about like how there's several Indian characters that are all like played by white people apparently.
I wonder how they pronounce the Indian rice.
Mur-RAY, as it turns out.
Right.
Okay. So we were going to do like 20 minutes on camping, like ahead of this, but we got like a bit of a late start. Kind of real quick, let's go around the horn. Camping at 45. You still like it, or is it shitty?
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
0 out of 10. Don't do it.
Yeah, I think I'm done with it as well. I did it a few years ago, actually 2020.
Went
camping.
Good year for camping.
What's that?
Good year for camping.
Yeah.
Good year for
And
being outside.
I took my daughter and had her experience it as well. I wanted her to experience it, and I'm like, yeah, no, it was good for her to experience it. I'm done.
Right. Napone, how about yourself?
I haven't done it since I couldn't even tell you the last time I went camping, so probably wouldn't do it now.
Right.
Although I did do it in 2021, but it was more like glamping because it was at a really nice camping place, and so yeah, we slept in a tent, but there's a swimming pool there. There's a restaurant.
Right.
I think it'd be more apt to do something like that than like camping in the woods.
Yeah. I bring this up. I still enjoy hiking quite a bit. I enjoy kind of being out in like nature. I don't mind a cabin. I don't mind like a little bit of kind of like the thing that if it has kind of like AC, running water, whatever else. I wanted to kind of bring it up just at least quickly on this episode because actually it's a foundation of the friendship that I have with both Naveen and Napone is that we actually met back in the day being part of the same Boy Scout troop. And while a lot of the Boy Scout things didn't quite take, I did get like I did learn a few things. I did come out with kind of some skills. I did make a couple friends that I'm kind of just buddies with. Kind of 3 decades and counting afterwards. But I wanted to ask the two of you if you were there for the very fateful camping trip, maybe the thing that completely wrecked me in the outdoors. Our troop did not just do kind of easy, fun kind of stuff in the summertime. It was a year-round camping experience with Troop 19. But we had this one weekend camping trip where we went out to the Harwinton Fairgrounds, which is kind of on this kind of sort of smooth, like these fairgrounds. They're kind of just sort of mostly just kind of used for like kind of summer and like autumn events. But it's on a very kind of sort of wide kind of like expanse on top of like a really high hilltop. It's just the sort of like overlooking the valleys. There's no sort of there's no shelter, there's no wind shear kind of protection or anything else like that. And they took us camping to the fairgrounds in mid-February. Do you guys have any memory of this at all?
Yikes.
I don't have that one. No, I remember the one that was like up the road from Brody Park in winter and just in this clearing, and then sometimes we'd go up in the woods and have a camping trip in the field there.
Right.
But yeah,
see, Brody was really, really nice because you're kind of in the woods and it's kind of like sheltered like a little bit, there was like probably 40, 50 a mile an hour kind of winds sort of blowing over like the fairground. That's when we were kind of like at this trip. So Napone, you remember this as well?
No. I think the one Naveen wasn't that the first camping trip we did? It was the middle of winter, I think.
But it was snowy. It was a Brody and was kind of still for the most part, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't like Brody. It was like some like random. It felt like we were just like going through someone's farm and then into the backwoods or something like that.
That was kind of like a lot of the camping trips we did for sure.
Yeah.
But it's the coldest I ever remember being. I remember that it was so like freezing cold, like on like Friday night. I was absolutely miserable. My dad didn't come for like the Friday, the Friday night stay, but he showed up on Saturday. I begged my father to take me home so I wouldn't have to kind of deal with the second night of that. Dad's like, no, this is good for you. It's educational. This will kind of toughen you up. And then Dad was at the fairgrounds for about an hour and be like, it's way too cold. I'm just going to go home.
Without you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Your dad is hilarious, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it was funny to him at the time. It's probably funny to him now, actually. I should have
I was gonna say, I don't think it's ever stopped being funny.
thing. But it's one of the scoutmasters that we had was an actual professional photographer who took like a bunch of shots of us just all kind of bundled up, trying to get like the tents up, trying to get like a fire started, everything else. And when the scoutmaster kind of went and developed photos, he developed like these sort of large, very kind of stark, high contrast black and white prints of all the like the photos they took. And I remember my father remarking on when he saw those photos like a little bit later, saying, these pictures of the boys camping at the Harwington Fairgrounds, this looks exactly what the Russian front looked like outside of Moscow during Operation Barbarossa in like 1943.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you got your polar bear badge, right? Isn't there like a camping polar bear badge?
Didn't you have to kind of like did you have to go swimming in like in sort of
I think there are two. Like if you go swimming really early in the morning kind of thing, or in the winter time is polar bear. But I thought if it also went camping and it went under freezing temperatures.
You got like a special badge or like some kind of commendation for that, right?
Right. Yeah.
What's the point of this?
Toughen you up.
Just to kind of give you content for like the podcast that you do 3.5 decades later.
Yeah, 30 years later, exactly.
Right. Well, and also for parents back then to have fun torturing their kids and legally get away with it.
Right. Okay. Now we're getting to the heart of it.
All of this would be met by lawsuits these days. Petitions for emancipation.
I could say I enjoyed my time. There were times when it was really cold and things, but it was still cool with the camaraderie and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Why has merit badges for adults?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Shut up, Naveen. Go on.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that.
Bill Mur-RAY and I have something to say about that. I never got my polar bear badge, even though I 1000% earned it.
Yeah. All right, sorry, you were asking a question.
I don't even know. Like, you guys want to get into Cry Wilderness?
Let's go for it. Let's go.
Sure.
I'm just talking about this is giving me like trauma flashbacks.
You were talking about merit badges, I think, though. Does that ring a bell? You were about to ask a question about merit badges.
I do have a thing, but let's circle back to that after we watch the film.
Sounds good.
Sweet.
We'll be right back.
I can hear you fine. Where are you?
Hi, Dad. We're doing the podcast right now, and we are technically recording. Okay. So I had a very brief question for the two of you.
Okay.
All right. I was told. Actually, I'm going to do this without any preamble. I would like for the two of you to name a certain Hollywood celebrity, and just say his name in your natural speaking voices. This is one of Dad's favorite comedians. He was the star of Stripes and Saturday Night Live and Ghostbusters, and he's like the biggest fan of the Chicago Cubs. So if you could, I would like for the two of you just pronounce his name as you would normally pronounce his name.
Bill Murray.
Okay.
Bill Murray.
All right. Did you guys get that?
No.
I'm asking my co-host.
I would say,
Yes.
can we do it one more time just for clarification?
Could you say his name just one more time for clarification?
Microphone on the microphone.
Murray. Murray.
Okay, Mom.
Bill Murray.
All right. We started the podcast with my co-host informing me that there are, I guess, like a number of kind of Hollywood celebrities that I've been wildly mispronouncing the entire time we've been doing the show. Okay. And I was pretty skeptical of this because, you know, it's something I take like a bit of pride in. But I asked, what are the celebrities that I'm getting wrong constantly? And the first person that came to mind, and guys, one more time, how do you pronounce it?
Bill Murray.
No, I'm asking the co-hosts.
Murray.
Bill Murray.
That's what I say, Bill Murray. That's not right.
Bill Murray.
Yeah, no A.
Bill Murray.
Right.
Look how he spells his name. Yeah, but that's how you say it. It's like, look how you spell my name, but you don't say the G at the end. What?
I mean, you cannot argue with that logic.
Yeah.
Okay. So who's right? I mean, how have you been pronouncing it?
To me, it sounded like you both were pronouncing it the exact same way. But let me go to the panel.
No, that's putting more of an accent on the Mur-RAY.
Then the Mur-RAY. Okay.
Yeah. Yep, that's what I heard too.
Your mom was saying it right.
Okay. So, guys, are we all in agreement that mom's pronunciation is actually the correct one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's unanimous. I told. Okay,
Sorry, Dad.
right. I told them it's an interesting opinion to have on things. They kept making fun of the face that I made every time I said Murray, which is just it's a weird taste to it. Like it's
That's like Arthur Murray Dance Studio.
okay.
Do you even know what that is?
No clue whatsoever, Mother.
It was a TV show in the 50s.
Okay, so yeah, we were all born in different parts of 1980. So okay, that's all I want to bug you guys about. Thank you so much. Sorry, it's like a little bit late for a call.
Oh, no problem. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks the rest of you guys. Bye.
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 They all say bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right. Did this feel like a radio show prank call to anybody?
Oh, this is
Back in the day.
like the conversations happened with my parents to begin with.
Honestly, that felt like the most wholesome thing we've ever done on this podcast.
Yeah.
Possibly the only wholesome thing we've ever done on this podcast.
Right. A lot better than Napoleon letting his wife listen to Cunny of the Goose. Okay. Anyway, we got about 30 seconds in the Cry Wilderness before I had that bright idea. So we're going to stop. We're going to watch the movie. Then we'll come back with the review and final thoughts.
All right.
Bye again.
Cry Wilderness is a 1987 family adventure film directed by Jay Schlossberg-Cohen, starring Eric Foster, Maurice Grand Mason, Griffin Casey, and John Tallman. Synopsis in brief: children are awful and vasectomies can be done outpatient. Synopsis in brief. Let's throw it to the crowd. Guys, what do you got?
Yeah, and Andy.
Bigfoot has human hands. I don't know, man.
All right.
They were paid for that.
I got synopsis in brief: Santa Claus and the Coca-Cola Bigfoot.
There we go.
Or synopsis in brief: I don't want to sound queer or nothing. Bigfoot's beautiful.
Synopsis in brief: do you know what happened to the last man who crossed me, Father? He's crawling eyeball-less in a lake. Synopsis in brief: Yell Yeti for this.
Oh, geez. Oh no.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope. I only got those two.
Okay.
Synopsis in brief: none of the hawks or eagles seen with the characters or species native to the United States. Just to reiterate.
Also, none of the other animals or human beings seen in the film are native to the United States.
Right. Yep,
that's like the big sort of kind of trick they pulled. All of this was filmed on Mars, which is kind of like if all of Oregon and Washington State had a gas leak. I think that's the.
I would like to draw attention to the fact that on the IMDb page for this particular film, there is one quote listed.
One quote.
Jim, in parentheses, they find dozens of crushed Coke cans. Someone sure liked Coca-Cola. That is the only quote on its entirety, on the entirety of the page.
That quote and the entire IMDb page for this movie only existed after this episode of Mystery Science Theater came out.
Where did they find it?
Let's get to kind of general impressions. Napone, as your guest, let's hear from you first. What'd you think of the film?
It was pretty bad. I mean, the MS Mystery Science Theater stuff definitely helped propel it along. But overall, yeah, that the movie was horrible.
Yeah. Pretty astounding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Naveen, anything to sort of build on your brother's point?
Oh man. Yeah. I don't know how they did it, because they had to have watched it before they did all this commentary stuff on it.
Right.
Just trying to get through that.
They had to probably watch it a bunch.
Yeah.
Right.
Watched it more than once just to try to come up with all those jokes and things and just be like, oh man, this is getting hard.
Right. That may be the actual sort of monkey's paw wish that like kind of conjured this film into being, because they were just like, okay, give us the perfect Mystery Science Theater movie. Boom. Here you go. Cry Wilderness. Now you got to watch it like 20, 30 times to do like your episode on Netflix.
And I'm surprised all the people part of making it were like, this is a great film.
I don't know what they were expecting when they were making it.
Right. Well, this is the thing I was kind of saying. Like this sort of shit was big in the 70s and 80s because any sort of film production company, I think, that didn't have the budget for kind of sets or special effects, but like, yeah, we want to make like a family adventure, whatever. Just the woods. Let's kind of go out in the woods and kind of film what's happening in the woods. And then if the woods is not interesting enough, there's plenty of stock footage, also the woods. Maybe that makes it like a little bit more compelling.
Yeah, or like the salt flats of, I don't know, Idaho or something. And let's go to the woods of Yellowstone and Jellystone and all of them. It's like that's not all in one area, man.
Pacific Northwest, kind of like depending on like where you're going, the terrain does get sort of kind of really weird and bizarre and varied. It was like, they had like the one scene like right before they kind of came on like kind of Red Hawks Enclave, but that's just like the lakeside, and it does look like they're in a sci-fi movie, like instead of like anything else where like the movie's being shot. But that's just kind of that's sort of rural Oregon if you just drive around a little bit.
Well, I didn't know that, but that just seemed weird and off.
Andy, anything to build on that at all? General impressions first.
I think we're all left speechless. What the hell do you say to that?
Right.
That was one of the most disjointed, poorly organized movies I have ever watched in my life.
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. My Letterboxd not review, but star rating 1.5. But 1.5 of those stars is actually for the MST3K portion of it.
No, to my thinking, it's a 5-star MST experience, and then negative 3.5 stars for like the movie itself. So that seems completely
okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll go with that. Sure. Yep. Yep.
So
I got nothing else to add.
Yeah. It's so for like the three of you, was this like your first time really sitting down and watching a full episode of Mystery Science Theater, like front to back?
Definitely,
for me,
probably.
For me, yes.
You, Napone, how about yourself?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the only time I've ever sat down and watched the whole episode.
So what was the experience of just kind of what's kind of like fun about the more recent seasons is they kind of pivoted from the older hosts to like kind of Jonah Ray and like the stand-up comedians that he's kind of working with at this point. They're guys around our age, and like they're kind of touch points for movies, for TV, for music, for like a lot of kind of just cultural or kind of pop cultural shit is a little bit kind of more close to us. What do you think of like the commentary track, like running like through the entire time?
Commentary tracks. I mean, they had a lot of funny things to say and put through it. There were a few times where I couldn't tell if it was part of the dialogue,
Yeah,
in there, or it was part of the commentary.
Uh-huh.
And then
Because everything being said in the movie is so completely insane.
yeah. So it was just, so that was kind of confusing there. And then yes, again, a lot of times it was funny. And then sometimes it seemed a bit much at points, like, all right, we got the idea, and they just kind of kept going.
It's a little bit sort of kind of joke a minute. Not everything hits. Some stuff is occasionally obscure, but
right. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely had things which I don't know that reference or not.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of like a Mystery Science Theater, like Hallmark. It's like a dozen very, very smart guys usually kind of writing on the show, and because to keep up the pace, sometimes the jokes are very easy and accessible, but other times they're just like, yeah, you kind of need like a PhD in like film studies to kind of know what to talk about them.
I actually preferred the original Mystery Science Theater cast to the newer, to the I don't know if you'd call it a reboot or a continuation. That was the one I kind of grew up watching, or yeah. So I think I tend to go with the original.
True.
There's something also that I think I find endearing about not necessarily understanding all of the references they make and just taking them at face value and how ridiculous they are.
Right. Yeah.
So
it has a little bit of like an affect of like you're watching a there's a little bit of thing of like hanging out with a kind of like an older cousin or sibling or whatever else that knows so much about this stuff that even if you don't kind of catch every single thing being said, like the vibes are still kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Personal favorite lines for me: Grizzly Man 2, The Power of Love.
Of course.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Just when Jim just started wrestling with the bear. When Jim just randomly started wrestling with the bear.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Other things, Red Hawk and his friends need a podcast that I wrote down.
I'm surprised you didn't say the Werner Herzog
Sure.
imitation. Yeah.
Looking around the podcast, no tiger here, no tiger here.
I don't know if I have a favorite quote from the movie because it's all just so.
Gibberish.
I mean, it's just gibberish the whole time.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
Yeah. It's
there's very little dialogue too in the movie, like the actual movie, not the Mystery Science Theater guys.
Right. Things did not kind of flow logically from like one scene to the next. Like the animal sanctuary where they put the sick eagle into the bird cage that didn't actually have to pop. Kind of like a metaphor for like the whole film itself, right?
Yeah.
But
and then I don't know. Do you think a tiger could actually do that to the cage to get to the deer?
I kind of watching this for like a second or third time kind of feel like that was actually Bigfoot. Yeah, I'm like obviously like the first time was like, oh yeah, the tiger was kind of fucking stuff up, but now it's sort of like they leave some things I think kind of intentionally ambiguous. Like I don't know if you guys saw that French sort of kind of murder courtroom drama film Anatomy of a Fall last year.
Nope.
No.
But this is sort of the Anatomy of a Fall of like 1987. You watch the second, third time, and you kind of feel like there are clues. Maybe it was Bigfoot the entire time.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like an M. Night Shyamalan.
His cage seemed like it was already an exhibit at the zoo.
Yeah. He was crushing way too many cans of Coke. Maybe his decision making was bad.
Yeah, you shouldn't be snorting that.
Yeah.
Where was he getting the Coke from after the kid left?
That's a legitimate question.
Yeah, and the kid said, "I only brought one a day."
Yeah.
Like, there's hundreds of them, man.
There were 12 other families that came through without enclosure over the past month.
It was Red Hawk.
Yeah. Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Just kind of give that to whatever. So let me put this out to like the two dads on the show. Would it at a certain point in this movie, would you guys just have left Paul in the woods?
Or tied him up?
They tried that. It still didn't. They made a whole Ewok trap for him.
What was that trap for him?
I don't think the trap was for him.
I don't know.
I thought it was the cougar who set the trap to catch humans. Who knows?
The only reason I wouldn't have left Paul in the woods is because I wouldn't have wanted to answer all the questions from the police when I got home.
I see.
Literally the only reason.
I don't know, man. Like Pacific Northwest, 1987. Like there's not the digital paper trail that just everything kind of fucking has right now. Like you could have probably abandoned your kid like an Ewok trap, have him eaten by a cougar, and probably 50-50 got away with it back then.
It would have crossed my mind.
They never solved. Yeah, you could definitely get away with it. They definitely didn't solve the ripped up denim and the nerd tree incident.
Right. So it's kind of like, you know, it's sort of established halfway through the film that either Bigfoot or the tiger killed Elvis Costello, right? Like that's kind of what they're setting up.
Something like that, yeah. Huh. But I mean, Paul was also dressed as Coca-Cola, so the the Bigfoot could have gotten mistaken.
Because everybody here is music fans. What was the actual rock and roll that Bigfoot was listening to on the transistor radio?
Honestly, I was just shocked that the batteries were still working.
It was one of those wind-up things, I think.
Was it?
I don't know.
Is that a thing that exists?
Yeah.
Like wind-up transistor radios, you can kind of just crank up like a Model T?
Yeah,
it's definitely. Like like flashlights where you can charge it up.
Right. I vaguely remember those from Boy Scouts. I remember them not working at all.
Bigfoot's got a lot of time on his kid.
You did have to crank it
up.
I don't know.
But
I was cranking other things at that age, personally. I didn't have time for a word.
In 87? Damn. You're a mature guy.
Well, I didn't see this film until 93.
You saw it in 93?
Who knows, man?
That's definitely possible.
Maybe it's just me. Like my childhood memory is we saw so many movies kind of like this.
Yeah,
like made for TV shit or kind of substitute teachers, whatever else. Kind of so many
Homeward Bound.
Yeah,
this was
Bound comes to mind for some reason.
Sure.
I think Homeward Bound had a better plot in it, though.
But the whole forest scene, like all the mountains, is what I can remember, and just the look of it. But wait, we never answered the question of the song and the radio there.
Right.
It sounded so generic. I couldn't tell.
What band specifically do you imagine? Kind of like mostly hairy chested, except like this right area around like his nipples, completely shaved hair. What kind of music? Like especially 87. What do you think like Bigfoot's listening to at that point?
Oh, jeez.
Probably like one of the less successful hair metal bands of the of the time. Like
we're talking Dawkins.
Yeah. What's the crap? What's the I'm not going to come up with it. Who?
Scoliosis.
Scoliosis.
Is that really a band?
I was just trying to take it from Wayne's World. All the different. They had the top 10 bands that sound like illnesses.
Oh.
And number 1 was scoliosis.
The only thing Bigfoot was the one I was Tesla or worse.
White Lion. Oh, that was a good one.
White Lion was the one I was trying to come up with.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hair metal band.
I can't think of like the ones that are not like big.
Yeah, you got me.
I mean, Tesla's a good pull.
Tesla, Dawkins, Whitesnake.
Winger.
Yeah, maybe Winger.
Winger.
Winger
Yeah,
cyanide. A loving tribute to poison.
Oh man.
I don't know. It just so everybody is so kind of just like shell shocked by this like. so like one more broad question: is this the worst B movie that we've watched out of everything? And going back, we've gone through. It's been Inframan, Invasion USA, Frankenhooker. So I think this is the fourth one that we've done at this point. So how are you ranking the B movies so far?
See, this one's I guess is a little bit of a toss up. Inframan, I know was my choice. I've never seen it, and it was all right.
Your choice for the best or the worst?
I'm going with the worst here. I'm not saying it's Inframan, but Inframan also did not have the Mystery Science commentary.
Sure.
So did that kind of boost Cry Wilderness?
Yeah. What if we had watched this dry, like we're going to do with The Room?
Yeah. We could have came up with our own commentary, may have been all right. But
I'm not sure that we could.
Yeah.
The Power of Love.
Without the commentary, yes. Cry Wilderness is the worst, yes.
Okay. Andy, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean 100%. Without the commentary, this is far and away the worst B movie we have. In fact, might be. Oh God, I don't know. Might be one of the worst movies in general that we've watched.
You're gonna say it?
It's not worse than Opportunity Knocks.
What? No way.
Sorry, man. It's just not.
Cry Wilderness beats Opportunity Knocks. Wow.
I would say so.
This is my fourth or fifth time watching Cry Wilderness. I remember every single thing that happened in it. I could probably watch Opportunity Knocks 3 or 4 more times and not remember like a single actual part of the movie.
Yeah.
Just because
the 4 or 5 times you watched Mystery Science Theater Cry Wilderness, or like
yes, yeah,
okay,
yeah. This might be in like my favorite one, like the season personally. I also watched this. The last time was a couple years ago, visiting Eric and his. This a few years ago. Like his 2 boys were like a little bit younger, and his wife was out with friends for the night, and Eric's sons were just feral like the entire time. Like they were running around, like holes were getting punched in the walls, fires were being started, like they were literally like the raccoon cubs from like the start of the movie. And I was just kind of looking. I'm like, should we do anything? And Eric's like, nah, let's just watch this Mystery Science Theater. So I have like that first impression for me. It was kind of like a 40X sort of like experience, like a little bit. So this is really a movie that I have like a lot of background, like a lot of fondness for.
So while watching Paul, you had 2 Pauls in the background?
I either that or like a tiger and like a Bigfoot. Like just like it was fucking chaos.
Nice.
So let's pivot to kind of one question. Like hate to kind of call this like a serious one, but it's something I'm always a little surprised by when I kind of like when sort of kind of like put to random people. But Bigfoot, the Loch Ness monster, like the Alba Twitch, the fucking abominable snowman, like kind of whatever else. Do you guys believe that these things exist out there?
What's the Alba Twitch?
Yeah,
it's a random like Appalachia sort of Midwestern one. They talk about like on a different podcast I listen to like quite a bit.
Alba Twitch. Oh, now I got to look that up.
Yeah,
it's like the Bigfoot of Pennsylvania.
Alba Twitch.
So we have 3 different versions of Bigfoot now. We have a big
Pennsylvania Dutch legend,
abominable snowman, and now this Alba Twitch.
Oh, I mean, like if you kind of get into like a little bit, like there's hundreds of these things, like probably.
I would like to read this briefly because it's funny to me that Johnny brought up the Alba Twitch, considering his where he grew up.
Pronunciation of Bill Murray.
Well, that too. The Alba Twitch is a regional Pennsylvania Dutch legend specifically associated with the area around Columbia, Lancaster County. It's described as a small, hairy, ape-like creature that enjoys stealing apples and throwing the cores back at people. The name Alba Twitch is said to be a Pennsylvania Dutch term meaning, quote, apple snitch.
Apple snitch.
Apple snitch.
Right. So where are you guys at with that? Like, is any of this shit real or no?
But the Alba Twitch is only 4 foot tall. Hairy.
It's not really like tall enough to steal apples.
Yeah, how's it get to the apple tree?
If they're
I'm
growing,
going to say that there's definitely stuff out there that we haven't discovered yet. I mean, I think about like all the stuff that's in the ocean that like every time somebody goes deep, they find a new species. There's got to be examples of that, on land as well. Are they, giant ape-like, Bigfoot creatures, or are they like chupacabra? I don't know. Right. But there's got to be shit out there that we don't know about yet.
Is Red Hawk helping them hide from society? Is there something sort of crazier going on?
It's possible.
Right.
Is there some random kid with a bowl cut feeding them, candy and Coca-Cola? Maybe.
Uh-huh. Right.
Is that real?
Handing them like White Snake demo tapes or?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's a non-zero chance is all I'm going to say.
Interesting. Napone, what do you want to build on that? Because you and your wife, after kind of visits to, I guess, the Bronx, strange place to kind of be from, but you guys kind of like travel like a fair bit. Like, how do you feel about sort of like the in the kind of like the remote parts of like even just like the American kind of Eastern Seaboard? Do you think there could be something like hiding up in these woods?
I'm kind of with Andy's, probably like things that are out there, but I think like this singular being that's like one thing, like Loch Ness and Bigfoot. I don't think it's possible. I think there's too many people with camera phones and too many people probably like searching for these animals that it's too easy to get a glimpse of something like that.
The fact we now have streaming and drones does kind of change like the calculus.
Yes,
good stuff. Like
it's kind of like the aliens thing. Like, we would have some kind of documentation of aliens.
Mm-hmm. Somebody would have like non-grainy photo, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. I like that. So. Naveen, how about yourself?
Yeah, why not believe? Why not believe that there's something out there that we haven't seen? I mean, kind of to Andy's point, though, with at least Loch Ness Monster, it's got a better chance of being real, considering how deep and things are in the ocean, how dark it is. Nobody can really go down there often.
A fairly simple.
He's in the lake, though.
It's like a very like large, like decent sized lake.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's deep.
Right. It's deep. It's got to be a deep lake. There, Loch Ness is that big. It's got to be a pretty big lake.
How deep we talking?
Knee deep.
6-7 feet.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess it's just the fun of believing.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I'm one of these assholes that are just like, yeah, like 100%. There's no ghosts. There's no aliens. There's no cryptids, because it's just, if any of those things existed in any demonstrable way, we wouldn't be talking about anything else. It's this is kind of cribbing from like a Chris Hardwick joke. He's like, he's like, this is the reason I don't believe in ghosts, because if one person found one provable, observable, repeatable way to actually say there are ghosts, here's everything you got to do to kind of like sort of see ghosts for yourself, we would not be starting the podcast talking about making kind of jokes about the Epstein plane, right? It'd just be like it just like tomorrow, if they definitively like, okay, yeah, ghosts, we just found out absolutely exists. It would just be kind of Wolf Blitzer, like on the Situation Room, just going, everybody be doing like the fucking Scooby-Doo thing. It's just like but I don't know. Like I am so absolute in like the way that I kind of think about this, or I don't believe any of these things, and I am always sort of kind of squinting like the people that kind of do put any kind of credibility into this, but I'm always kind of second guessing that at the same time, because I'm either like, am I not having enough fun with like the way that I'm kind of like looking at the world, or is there just something I'm missing that kind of makes these things kind of interesting to other people?
I would argue though that ghosts and cryptids and or aliens, or that they're not the same to me. Like, I agree with you that there's no ghosts, because I don't believe in the afterlife and all that kind of shit, whatever. But like, I do think that there is some amount of plausibility that there are species that we haven't seen yet. There is some amount of plausibility to there being other intelligent life somewhere out there. I'm not saying that I necessarily believe in those things, but I can at least see that there is the possibility that those things could exist.
Right. However small the chance may be.
Yeah.
Naveen, Napoleon, anything to kind of tag on to that? It's a very good point.
No, I kind of think the same way. I mean, for me though, I actually think ghosts could be real. Maybe you don't see it all the time, or can repeat it as you were saying, but I don't see why, if you were a ghost and you could do those things, why you would want to get caught repeatedly and take the fun out of it.
Napoleon,
ghosts are scary.
Yeah.
I got nothing to add to that.
You sound like you want to say something. You sound like you want to say something, but you're like, I'm not putting this on the internet.
It's just that I don't see how half those things could exist.
Mm-hmm.
But I get Andy's point where like there's got to be something out there. Or, like there definitely could be something outside that's more intelligent than us, somewhere in this big galaxy and world and universe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's definitely like animals we haven't, or species that we haven't identified yet. But it's just like ghosts. I don't know. Ghosts are kind of weird. I don't know how to describe that one.
So like kind of relative to alien intelligence, do you think we were kind of like the Missouri of the galaxy? Like they kind of look at us and like, oh shit, that's the Epstein planet. Gotta just give that one a wide berth.
Pretty much. Yeah, they're like, we've seen you from afar. We're good. We don't need to get any closer.
We see what you guys get up to, and we ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah.
We check out your podcast from time to time. Whoever this Joe Rogan is, he seems to speak for your entire species, and we can say collectively, no, thank you.
Yeah, no thanks. We're good.
Yeah.
So, Johnny, when you squint about ghosts and things, is that the same way you squint about trying to say Mur-RAY?
Mur-RAY.
You know what? It is a little bit connected, because in kind of both cases, like, maybe the other person is telling me something they genuinely believe, but I'm like, nah. It's all right. Episode 61, let's kind of wind it down there. I will say this at the end of the podcast, because there's no possible way anybody who started this episode has listened this long. I want to say we got a bunch of good shit coming up, and we do have a bunch of good shit coming up. We do not have anything planned though past the end of the month of August. August being for this particular year, August is about like 9.5 weeks for some goddamn reason. So there's quite a lot of content that we got on the calendar. But next week, we've not announced this on mic yet, but it's a bit of a weird record. Andy is going on for like a super long vacation, like over like the weekend with his family. Humble brag.
Super long over the weekend.
Sorry, say again.
Super long over the weekend.
Super long over the week. Like a super long weekend.
Yes,
Nice.
I wish it was a super long trip. Unfortunately, it is not.
Right. It sounds pretty good though. But we did want to kind of get in a record there, and we're going to be kind of like sort of breaking from the B movie thing like a bit. We are going to be watching the oldest film we've covered on the podcast, possibly the oldest film we can cover on the podcast, the 1924 Buster Keaton feature Sherlock Jr. This is a couple days ago after we recorded like the intro to our re-release of I guess our release of like the new of an old recording for Kung Fu Hustle. Andy, Naveen, and I were kind of talking like a few minutes after, and we were saying like, hey, we've only got sort of like kind of maybe midweek to record. They said to me, you constantly sort of refer to Buster Keaton films like on the podcast. Is there anything there? Is there anything like interesting?
I noticed that you had picked a couple movies that really reference Buster Keaton. So we did an episode for Hundreds of Beavers, which heavily was influenced by Buster Keaton.
Very, very heavily.
And then you just mentioned Kung Fu Hustle, which was also kind of referenced to Buster Keaton. So, yeah, it seemed like you really enjoyed it. So now, actually, let me ask you, did you get into Buster Keaton after you've seen these movies, or was it actually before? Because
so I can purely attribute that to me being a regular listener of the Blank Check podcast, which is a nationally famous show that everybody should be listening to instead of us, like on a week-to-week basis. But it's a Blank Check is. Say again.
Nobody's listening to us.
Well, thank Bryce, considering what we've been saying.
One of our listeners on the episode today, so who knows if he'll listen to us later.
Yeah, our listener is with us today.
Right. Anybody that has listened to this episode has had their eyeballs torn out by an eagle, and like there's out around
the ones that I'm on get listened to the least because I don't listen to it.
Yes,
that's kind of the whole weird circle jerk experience of like having this podcast. You know, it's just everything is sort of meta, self-referential. Buster Keaton, though, Blank Check. The premise of the show is they do sort of full director filmographies. Did a phenomenal miniseries on Buster Keaton like a couple years back, and they described it as this is a sort of a silent film comedy, heavily just heavily stunts and special effects driven. That in a weird way is still very interesting and very modern feeling. The way that they described like on the pod, like we would not recommend people sort of go back and watch the old Charlie Chaplin films or the old kind of the Fatty Arbuckle films, because those aren't just not are very kind of dated and of the time. But the Buster Keaton stuff is really, really interesting in a way that the audience kind of like finds engaging. All of these movies are sort of free on YouTube at this point. The other guys have not kind of seen any of these things. We're going to start with kind of one of the more kind of well-known, sort of kind of modern feeling, because it just was just not just like its effects and its stunts, but kind of like the weird sort of meta aspect of it. For again, a 101-year-old movie called Sherlock Jr. We'll record like a little bit kind of like up top, pause to watch like the film, and come back with impressions. And I think that's going to be like an interesting watch, and I think like a very interesting conversation after the fact. So
yeah,
he
definitely
influenced Chaplin, right? Not the other way around.
They were contemporaries. They appeared, I think, in one film together, like their entire careers.
Right.
Yeah, but literally, Buster Keaton stuff is so old and so influential that a lot of the old Looney Tunes stuff actually drew from like Buster Keaton like filmography.
He was great as Batman.
Buster Keaton, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a joke I'm not getting?
Right.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
All right.
Waka waka.
Grizzly Man 2, the power of love, ladies and gentlemen. What if we all started laughing like Jim and just added the pop?
I think you blew your microphone there. On
Yeah.
that. Totally cut out all weird.
Gentlemen, we're all professionals. Episode 61, Rebels Without a Pod.
We did it.
Right. We did it, guys.
Thank you.
Cry Wilderness.
I will cry.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Capone.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thanks
buddy.
for
Thank you
having
for guesting. Take care. Talk to everybody in bed.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.